Ready, right up there.
Ready. Cut. Coach. Have. Hey. Coach. Coach.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the Star-Spangled Banner.
Colors. Hold. Order. Colors. Ready. Cut. Right. Case. Hold. Or. Ouch. Up. 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 Right. Up. Up. Up.
Thank you very much. Please be seated. You know, it was interesting to me that I would talk to students, and I noticed that some students, and even some adults, really weren't sure what Veterans Day was and what it was all about. Well, Veterans Day is a time that is, and it should be, very special in the hearts of all Americans. Because on this day, we pause to remember those who have fought to make America great and keep America what it is today, and that is free. For some, perhaps many in the audience, that will mean either a parent, a close relative, grandparent may have served in some war that you may only read about in textbooks. That's what our veterans fought for you, their sons, their daughters, to learn about war from a book in school rather than having to experience this firsthand or in the battlefield. They don't want their children to fight like they had or have to serve like they had. They want our country to be a free and safe place. Therefore, let Veterans Day be much more than a day off from school. Let it be a day when we set aside special time to think about our veterans, and let each of us, in our own unique and special way, honor them with our thoughts, with our words, in our hearts, and in our prayers. And we have some very special folks with us. Some folks who have served in the armed forces and those who are actually serving right now. At this point in time, I would like to recognize our special guests. If you can please stand and be recognized. Thank you for all you do. We appreciate it. Thank you. You may be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Commander Edward Flores. Commander Flores graduated in 1984 from USN Academy Sea Duty Assignment, and it also included tours aboard the USS Constellation, USS Chandler, USS John F. Kennedy, and USS Coronado. Ashore, Commander Flores earned a Master's of Science degree in Systems Engineering and a Master's in Strategic Studies. After the 9/11 attack, he volunteered for the Afghanistan War, and then upon his return, he was assigned as Executive Officer of the NROTC at Tulane University. While assigned to Tulane, he volunteered for duty in Baghdad, and then in 2005, he retired from the U.S. Navy and has been teaching ROTC. And at this point in time, let's a round of applause for our guest speaker, Commander Flores.
Well, good morning, and it's a great day. I also, for you teachers, you'll understand that I know the principal wanted me to speak because he figures I understand differentiating instruction, and I'm looking at the crowd here, and this is going to be a big one. You know, in today's world with the wars that are going on, a lot of people will walk by and they'll say thank you. Thank you for your service, thank you for what you've done. And inside I always understand their gratitude, but I also want to say, but you're thanking me for doing something that I loved. I loved my job, I loved what I got to do. I got to go to many countries. I can start on the Atlantic and go to England and Ireland. I ended up in Iraq, Egypt, Hawaii, Alaska, those are states, Hong Kong, Africa, and I got paid to do that. So the thanks are always appreciated because I also understand that in getting to do that, myself and all these ladies and gentlemen here, we made sacrifices. We left our families behind, we missed birthdays, we missed Christmas. But in thinking about that, I always have to wonder why. Why do we do that? And for me, at least, it boils down to is I love this country. And just as a parent that I love my children, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make sure my children are protected. I love this country so much that I'm willing to do whatever it asks of me to protect it. I have to take an oath that I'm going to support and defend the Constitution, which is the one thing that makes our country great. So when your teachers start teaching you about the Constitution, pay extra attention. There's no other place in the world that has a Constitution like ours. And lastly, as you see that veteran, whether he has a patch or a ball cap, or maybe even an old tattered uniform, and you say thank you, just remember you're thanking them because I feel like me, they love this country just the way a parent would love a child.
First of all, I'd like to present this. It's for every veteran who came. It's a thank you card from Student Council. I would like to welcome our next speaker for First Class Petty Officer J. Ross. Petty Officer Ross joined U.S. Navy in 1994 and then in 1998 joined the Coast Guard. Currently, he is a MH-60T Jayhawk Basic Air Crewman. Please welcome him to Cotee River.
Good morning, Cotee River. How y'all doing? I wanted to know what you thought it meant to be in the military. So, little man here, you in the red shirt, what do you think it means to be in the military? What it is to be a veteran?
Save
To save what?
the world.
To save the world. What do you think it is? Yes, you. You're new? Okay. White shirt and glasses, what do you think it means? To protect our country. Those are all true. But what I've seen in movies, video games, everybody thinks all the military does is handle guns, shoot at people, get shot at. That's actually a very small part of our job. What it means to be in the military for the U.S., it means to save lives. Every branch of the service, and I believe we have every branch represented here, their main goal is to save lives. We're unique in the history of the world in that our country does not conquer other nations. We do nation building. We will dispose of governments. But as we discovered through World War II with Germany and Japan, we didn't take them. In the history of the world, no other country has done that. I personally have not shot a weapon since boot camp with the Navy, which is probably a good thing because if you ever saw me shoot, I couldn't hit a barn. What else it means to be in the military, and everybody here can attest to that, is sacrifice. Last year, I missed Christmas. I was deployed. Last year, I deployed 10 times. 2-week shots, fighting the unknown war, the war on drugs. As part of my mission, I go down to the Caribbean and I rescue people. I prevent drugs from coming into this nation. And I also prevent illegal immigration. But I had the honor and privilege of being able to save 150 Haitians 10 years ago. I spent 6 hours in the sun, waist deep in water. And what happened to these Haitians is that a group of Cuban sailors went over to Haiti and took $1,500 a piece from this 150 Haitians. Promised them a better life. We'll drop you off over in Nassau. Now, luckily, the island that we deployed to is an island between Haiti and Cuba called Great Anagua. There's a total of 400 people on the entire island. That's counting the Coast Guard, which is probably about 50 of those people. And then 80% of the island is nothing but a desert island. There's no water, there's no food. So these Cubans took this family out, or this group of 150 Haitians, who were just trying to make a better life, send money home, and circled out in the ocean for 5 days, convincing these people that were all under the decks that we're heading to Nassau. We're going to drop you off. You can make money. You can try to emigrate to the United States from there. Well, they got to the north side of that island, and they dropped them off. They came up to the reef, dropped them off, and said, okay, There's Miami. Wait a minute, we were going to Nassau. Well, we ended up in Miami. Go to Miami. So they jumped off the boat into the water in the middle of the night. And if you ever, as a avid sport fisher out there, there's a lot of sharks in that water. They jumped in that water, ran onto the island, to find that the closest, that light source they saw was 60 miles away. No trails, no food, no water. On an island at the time, 110 degrees. We were lucky in that one of our pilots was brand new to the island and wanted to take a tour around it. So they took a long way around, and they happened to see these Haitians there. So we got the call. I jumped in the helicopter, and 2 DEA agents that were with us. One spoke Spanish. Unfortunately, none of us spoke Creole, which is a derivative of French. And we flew to the north side of the island. And we had to go out there and explain to people in a language that none of us spoke that no, they weren't on Nassau, and no, they weren't in the United States. They had been left to die. So I got the privilege of doing that. And every one of these gentlemen here have had the privilege to save lives, whether it be their shipmates or their other soldiers' life, their friends. That to me is what it means to be in the military, to save the lives of yourself, your friends, and even those people sitting here today. We all did it so that you didn't have to. And that's what it means to be in the military. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to introduce the Ridgewood High School ROTC for their drill performance. Everyone please turn over to the side, to my left.
Cotee River. just from very small like dance steps and things. It takes a lot of practice and hard work and dedication to be able to learn all those steps, to do those routines, to keep everything just perfect. So they put a lot of hard work and practice into that, and that was awesome. All right, now we're going to hear from our lightning chorus with God Bless the USA.
History I've learned about so many countries where people are
And a great big round of applause just for the Lightning Chorus. What a wonderful performance today. We've been working hard for 4 hours practicing the songs and trying to get it just right and putting in a lot of hard work and dedication, just like our military does for our country. They've been putting that in for us today. So thank you so much, Chorus. Also wanted to say thank you for all of our veterans who took the time out of their schedules to come in today so that we could show our thanks and appreciation for your service for our country. And also our ROTC and our guest speakers. And we'd like to call up our guest speakers, please, at this time. So if I can have Commander Edward Flores to come on up, please. A nice big round of applause for Commander Flores. Just have a token of appreciation. We really appreciate you coming out and bringing all of your boys and girls that you have worked hard with. Thank you so much. And also, if I can have First Class Petty Officer Mr. Ross come on up. Thank you so much for being a guest speaker today for us. We appreciate your service to our country. I have to tell you in closing, yes, a big round of applause for him as well. First Class Petty Officer Ross. I'm sure I'm not the only one out here today whose heart is just full of pride at this time for our country. As we show our appreciation to our veterans and active duty personnel, it gives us that moment to really reflect and think about what it means to be free. And I know that's hard for kids to think about because all you've known is a free country. But there are places in this world that are not free. There are places in this world where there are dictators and people that run their country in ways that they tell their people what they can and can't do. And we are a very unique country in that we have our Constitution and our Bill of Rights. That our country was founded on that concept that we are free people, free to make our own choices, free from dictatorship. And that's something that's hard for kids to realize, but just know that there are people that have fought for your country so that you can enjoy the freedoms that you do today, and that you have a government in place that's elected so that they can work for the people, and you should be involved in that as you grow up. And we have our wonderful student council. Let's give a round of applause for our student council. They've worked very hard to help make this presentation and ceremony a possibility, and they are a great representation of the pride of Cotee River, and that's an awesome thing to see as well. And we just want to give one last round of applause to all of our veterans and active duty personnel. And a special thank you to those who've worked behind the scenes, and I know I'll probably miss somebody, but Mr. Adrian, our plant manager, for helping set everything up. Miss O'Brien and Miss Partame, as well as the office staff, for helping behind the scenes to get everything ready and arranged. And also Miss Michaels for taking the footage today with our camera and helping us capture this wonderful moment, as well as one of our teachers, Miss Barrera, who took a lot of time out of her personal schedule to help us to arrange and send out welcome letters to the veterans and make this all possible. So a big round of applause for all those people and anyone I missed. Also Miss Kilwell for helping work with the chorus as well.